Hi, this is Pat Yanes, your instructor in IN 312 International Trade. This is part 2 of a sequence of 3 video segments in which we explore aspects of the supply chain. An interesting chapter in supply chain management is what is known as the container revolution. Until the 1960s, merchandise was transported using an old system known as break bulk cargo. The merchandise was placed in a drop cloth, which was folded, and then a crane lifted the merchandise and placed it in a storage area of vessels. This was very inefficient because quite often the merchandise was crushed, and it was ruined by rain, by fog, by insects, by rodents. And it was also very dangerous because the merchandise was loose, it was insecure, and it created many accidents. A very visionary entrepreneur, Malcolm McLean, figured there had to be a better way to transport merchandise. Since globalization was increasing the volume of transports, he thought that maybe it was about time that we created a system in which merchandise was placed inside of a box. The box doors could be closed, and therefore the merchandise could be protected from the elements. He thought that these boxes had to be of standard sizes so that they could be stuck and solve another problem that existed at the time, and which is not sufficient space in warehouses, in ports. So if these containers were stackable, then storage space could be double or triple, and this could be a major advantage for industry. So one of the challenges that he faced was that at the time, most ships were built with V-shaped hulls, and V-shaped hulls did not allow for the transportation of too many of these containers. So he needed to have vessels that had flat bottom shape so that they could carry many more containers. So what began as a simple idea of a box eventually becomes a much larger project, because now you have to actually invent new vessels so that these boxes are transported, and also you have to retrofit trucks and trains and planes to transport these very heavy boxes. So on land, container lifts had to be created to lift these heavy boxes. Cranes had to be made bigger so that they could lift these boxes and extend wider distances now to accommodate for wider vessels. Since vessels are given a limited amount of hours to load and unload, several cranes could have to work simultaneously to meet deadlines. And just as an example, for instance, right now in the port of Los Angeles, there are about 11,000 trucks moving 11,000 containers per day. So each container has to be carried and loaded and unloaded in about 10 seconds. With time, containers have become more sophisticated. Some of them are refrigerated to carry merchandise that is temperature sensitive, such as meats, vegetable, and even some fabrics are very sensitive to drastic changes in temperature, and they have to be carried in these containers. We can carry gas in containers. Bulk is still being carried, such as grains and charcoal, things that cannot be packaged. And containers also have become now more common to carry equipment, electrical generators, things that are difficult to assemble, but if they are put together permanently in a container, it becomes easier to transport them. We see them as surgery rooms now in areas of natural disasters. We see them as kitchens. In construction sites, you can find them as offices or dorms. And right now, almost 90% of the world trade is carried in container ships. So this is the impact of the container revolution, that it made possible to carry more products for a lower price and at a faster speed throughout the world. If you're interested in these topics, we have 2 courses in ITM, elective courses, IN 320 Compliance Management in International Trade and IN 341 International Logistics. Both are taught by Professor Sonia Chapman, who is a professional in the area of logistics. Many ITM graduates have gone to take jobs in logistics because all brands or companies needs to transport merchandise. So there is a need for professionals trained in these areas. This is the end of part 2. Please move on to part 3 now.